In the next few minutes, you are about to witness the exact instant when time stopped behaving like time, when the Flash ran so fast that reality itself tripped, fell, and shattered into infinite broken reflections. Because this video will reveal how one single decision made in a fraction of a second rewrote the past, erased the future, destroyed entire universes, and proved that even the fastest hero alive is powerless against the consequences of his own choices. So, stay until the very end because what happens after the multiverse collapses is far more terrifying, absurd, and shocking than anything DC fans were prepared for. Barry Allen has always been the hero who fixes mistakes, the man who believes that no tragedy is permanent as long as you can run fast enough to outrun it. And that belief, both inspiring and dangerously naive, is exactly what makes him the most unpredictable threat to reality itself, because while Batman plans and Superman restrains himself, the Flash reacts emotionally, impulsively, and at the speed of thought, which means that when something goes wrong, it goes wrong everywhere at once. It all begins with a moment that feels harmless, almost relatable, because who would not want to fix the worst day of their life? Who would not want to save a loved one? Who would not want to erase pain with a single step backward through time? And yet, in the DC universe, time is not a straight road, but a living, fragile structure held together by rules that do not forgive good intentions. And when Flash decides to break those rules, time does not scream or explode immediately. It smiles quietly and waits. At first, the changes are small and almost funny in a cosmic way. Heroes wake up slightly different. Villains behave oddly. Cities feel familiar, but wrong. And the universe starts acting like it forgot which version of itself it is supposed to be, creating moments that feel comedic on the surface while hiding existential horror underneath. Because nothing is more unsettling than reality, pretending everything is normal when it clearly is not. As Flash keeps running, convinced he can control the damage, the multiverse begins to overlap like poorly stacked comic book pages, bleed into each other. Alternate versions of heroes appear where they should not exist, and events that never happened suddenly have memories attached to them, creating a chaotic patchwork universe where cause and effect lose all meaning. This is where things stop being funny and start becoming terrifying, because speed is no longer Flash's ally. It is the weapon that is killing reality faster than it can heal, and every step he takes creates shockwaves across infinite Earths, snapping timelines like glass and collapsing entire universes that never even knew what destroyed them. The most intriguing part of this collapse is not the destruction itself, but the realization that the multiverse is not breaking because Flash is too fast. It is breaking because time itself cannot decide which version of Flash is the real one. And when a constant becomes variable, the equation of existence fails completely, turning the Speed Force from a source of power into a cosmic infection, spreading paradoxes everywhere. Universes begin to vanish mid-moment, not with explosions or epic battles, but with quiet erasure. Cities flicker out of existence, heroes forget they ever existed, and entire timelines are reduced to conceptual leftovers, as if reality is uninstalling corrupted files to save what little functionality it has left, and Flash is forced to watch versions of the world disappear without even knowing if they were ever supposed to exist. What makes this moment so darkly fascinating is that Flash is still trying to be a hero, still convinced that one more run, one more correction, one more sacrifice will fix everything, which turns his story into a tragic loop where the solution is always the problem, and the faster he runs, the deeper the collapse becomes, creating a perfect metaphor for the human obsession with control. Eventually, the multiverse reaches a breaking point where it can no longer sustain infinite possibilities, and instead of branching, time begins twofold, inward collapsing realities into each other like a dying star, creating a single unstable timeline, made of broken pieces from countless worlds, a Frankenstein universe stitched together from lost mistakes and unfinished stories. In this final stage, Flash realizes something horrifying and oddly ironic: that the multiverse was never destroyed by villains, gods, or cosmic entities, but by love, guilt, and the refusal to accept that some moments are meant to hurt. And that realization hits harder than any punch because it strips heroism of its glamour and exposes it as a series of choices with irreversible consequences. The collapse does not end with a dramatic victory or a clean reset. It ends with silence, with a universe that survived but is forever changed, where history feels compressed, identities feel unstable, and the idea of a single reliable timeline becomes a myth, leaving Flash is both savior and executioner of reality, a living paradox running inside a world that no longer fully trusts time itself. What makes this story so intriguing and strangely funny in hindsight is the absurd scale of the mistake, because it all started with one guy thinking he could jog his way through grief. And somehow, that makes the cosmic disaster feel uncomfortably relatable. As if the multiverse collapsed because someone refused to let go, reminding us that even gods in spandex are still driven by very human flaws. In the aftermath, the DC universe moves forward but never forgets, because time now feels fragile. The Speed Force feels alive and suspicious, and every time Flash runs, there is an unspoken fear that reality itself is holding its breath, hoping he does not decide to fix something again. And that is why this moment remains one of the most fascinating, terrifying, and strangely entertaining events in DC history. Because it proves that the most dangerous power in the universe is not speed, strength, or intelligence, but the belief that you can undo the past without paying a price. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the moment the Flash broke time and collapsed the multiverse, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with your theory about whether Flash should ever time travel again, and share this video with other DC fans who love dark, curious, and mind-bending superhero stories.